Most men over 60 are making a mistake that has nothing to do with laziness, bad genetics, or even bad luck. It's a biological process happening silently inside your body right now. And if nobody's told you about it, your doctor included, you are already behind. Here's the number that stopped me cold. After the age of 60, the average man loses 3 to 5% of his muscle mass every single year. That process has a clinical name, sarcopenia. And by the time most men actually feel it, the weakness, the fatigue, the joint pain that seems to come from nowhere, they've already lost 20 to 30% of the lean mass they had at 40. And here's what makes it a silent killer. Losing muscle doesn't just make you weaker. It slows your metabolism, destabilizes your joints, drops your testosterone, and accelerates cognitive decline. Muscle loss is the accelerant on nearly every age-related disease there is. I'm Marcus Reed. I'm 58 years old, 15 years as a professional athlete. The last decade working exclusively with men over 50 who've been handed some version of the same line, slow down, it's just age. That line is wrong. And today I'm going to show you exactly why. With science, not inspiration. Here's what we're covering. 1. The training method that directly blocks the hormone, stealing your muscle at the cellular level. 2. The specific cardio approach that rebuilds your mitochondria from the inside out. 3. The sleep protocol that determines your overnight testosterone recovery. 4. The protein strategy most men over 60 are executing completely backwards. 5. The one mindset shift with a longitudinal study behind it that extends average life expectancy by 7.5 years. Plus, stay through to the end. There's a bonus force multiplier tip that amplifies every single one of these strategies simultaneously. It's the one thing I wish someone had told me a decade ago. 1. Resistance training, suppressing the hormone that steals your muscle. Robert came to me at 67. Retired engineer, sharp mind, cautious man. He'd stopped doing anything that involved loading weight. Stairs gave him trouble. Getting out of a low car made him wince. His orthopedist had told him to avoid joint stress, so he did. He walked. He stretched. He lost muscle every single month and called it aging. Within 4 months of working together, Robert was squatting with body weight, walking 3 miles without pain, and had added 6 pounds of lean muscle. His physician couldn't explain it. I could. Here's the mechanism. Your body produces a protein called myostatin. Its entire biological job is to limit muscle growth. Because in evolutionary terms, muscle is metabolically expensive. It costs calories, your body wants to limit it. After 60, myostatin activity increases significantly, becoming a primary driver of accelerated muscle loss. Resistance training directly suppresses myostatin. Think of it as overriding the factory manager telling your muscle cells to slow production. Simultaneously, loading your muscles activates mTOR, the mechanistic target of rapamycin, which is the master switch for muscle protein synthesis. You need both responses. Suppress myostatin, activate mTOR. One targeted training protocol triggers both once. The precise protocol. 3 non-consecutive days per week. Focus on compound movements, squat patterns, hip hinges, horizontal push and pull. Work at 60 to 70% of your estimated maximum effort. 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions with 90-second rest intervals. This is not light. It needs to be genuinely challenging. But it is controlled. Robert's knees didn't hurt because the load was managed carefully through a full range of motion. They got stronger because the stimulus was real. Here's the bridge to the next chapter. You can suppress myostatin and build lean muscle. But if the energy system powering those muscles is running on depleted, aging hardware, you're fighting yourself from the inside. And that's a mitochondria problem. Point 2. Zone 2 cardio. Rebuilding your cellular power plants. Gary was 63, former recreational runner. He'd spent 2 decades doing what he thought was excellent cardio, pushing his heart rate high, sweating hard, feeling accomplished. But his resting heart rate was climbing. His afternoon energy was almost non-existent. His recovery after any exertion took days. He wasn't out of shape. His mitochondria were exhausted. Here's the biology. Mitochondria are the power plants inside every cell in your body. By 60, you have significantly fewer of them than you did at 30. And the ones remaining operate with reduced efficiency. Source. Picture it this way. At 30, you had 12 high-output turbines powering your cellular energy. At 60, you might have 6, and half are running dirty. That's why recovery takes longer, why your energy ceiling drops, why moderate exertion depletes you more than it used to. Zone 2 cardio is the most potent known stimulus for mitochondrial biogenesis, the actual biological creation of new mitochondria. Zone 2 means working at roughly 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. You can hold a conversation. But it's not comfortable. That specific intensity activates a protein called PGC1 alpha, which sends the signal for your body to build more mitochondria. Going harder, counterintuitively, shuts this pathway down. The precise protocol: 4 sessions per week, 30 to 45 minutes each. Incline walking, cycling, swimming, rowing. Anything that keeps your heart rate steady in that zone. Gary stopped his hard runs. He started walking fast on a treadmill at a steep incline every morning. Within 6 weeks, his resting heart rate dropped 8 beats per minute. His afternoon energy, which had been nearly absent, returned. He said it felt like someone had quietly plugged him back in. You can rebuild your mitochondria. You can rebuild your muscle. But if you're destroying your hormonal environment every single night without realizing it, you are running up the down escalator. That brings us to the most underrated longevity lever of all. Point 3. Sleep architecture. The overnight testosterone window. David was 61. He slept 5 to 6 hours most nights and had for 20 years. He thought it was fine. He functioned. He wasn't tired during the day. What he didn't know was that his testosterone panel showed levels at the bottom quartile for a man of 75. Not 61, 75. Here's what the science actually shows. 70% of your daily testosterone release occurs during sleep, specifically during deep, slow-wave sleep in the first half of the night. Cut that window short, and you truncate the hormonal cycle. When sleep quality suffers, cortisol rises. And cortisol is aggressively catabolic. It breaks down muscle tissue, suppresses testosterone production, and increases visceral fat storage around the abdomen. High cortisol and low testosterone together create the biological environment that drives aging hardest. The precise protocol: consistent sleep timing within 30 minutes of the same hour every night. Your circadian rhythm is hormonal, and disrupting it directly suppresses melatonin while elevating cortisol. Keep your bedroom below 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Core body temperature drop is the physiological trigger your brain uses to initiate deep sleep stages. Eliminate screens 60 minutes before bed. Blue light suppresses melatonin by up to 50%, and treat alcohol honestly. Even a single drink within 3 hours of sleep reduces slow-wave sleep by 20 to 30%. David made these changes, nothing else. 6 months later, his testosterone had increased by 31%. No medication, no supplementation. His physician saw the numbers and asked what he'd changed. One final chapter, and this one may be the most immediately applicable thing I say for protein strategy. You're eating it wrong. Frank was 65. He ate clean, salads, lean protein, fish. But he was losing muscle mass consistently year over year. The problem wasn't how much protein he ate. It was when and how much at once. Here's the physiology most trainers miss. After 60, your muscles develop what researchers call anabolic resistance, a blunted sensitivity to protein intake. A 30-year-old man triggers meaningful muscle protein synthesis from 20 to 25 grams of protein per meal. A man over 60, after 35 to 40 grams of complete protein to generate the same mTOR response, because the signaling pathway becomes less sensitive with age. Most men over 60 eat a small serving of protein at dinner, spread the rest thin across the day, and wonder why they're shrinking. The precise protocol: distribute protein across 3 to 4 meals, targeting 35 to 40 grams of high-quality, complete protein per sitting. Pay specific attention to leucine, the amino acid that acts as the direct trigger for mTOR activation. Target 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal, found in approximately 4 to 5 ounces of chicken breast, or a well-formulated whole food protein source. Time your largest protein meal within 2 hours of your resistance training session. That's when mTOR sensitivity peaks and amino acid absorption is maximized. Frank redistributed his protein without changing his total caloric intake. 3 months later, 4 pounds of lean mass gained, 2 pounds of fat lost, same food budget, completely different outcome. 5. Longevity mindset. A scientific secret few people know. James was 60 for healthy habits, decent sleep, consistent training. But every time someone asked how he was doing, he'd say the same thing. Not bad for my age. That one phrase, 4 words, was quietly killing him, not metaphorically, biochemically. Here's the science. A landmark study from Yale tracked over 600 adults for more than 20 years. And people with a positive self-perception of aging lived an average of 7.5 years longer than those who viewed aging negatively, independent of cholesterol levels, blood pressure, weight, or smoking status. 7.5 years. From a belief system, not a pill, not a procedure. Here's the mechanism. Chronic negative self-perception activates your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, the same stress pathway that drives cortisol elevation we covered in Chapter 3. Men who internalize aging as decline produce measurably higher baseline cortisol, which suppresses testosterone, accelerates cellular inflammation, and directly undermines every other protocol in this video. Your psychology is not separate from your biology. It is biology, the precise protocol. Audit the language you use about your own body and age, out loud and internally. Deficit language. I'm too old for that. Not bad for my age, with competence language. I'm building capacity, I'm in a performance phase. This is not positive thinking, it is accurate thinking, because the research says men who train, sleep well, and eat right at 65 have the physiological profile of sedentary men at 45. Your biology earns a different label, start using it. James changed how he answered that question. Within a year, his training consistency had improved, his stress markers had dropped, and he'd stopped preemptively limiting himself. The body follows the identity you give it. I want to stop here and ask you something real. What's the one physical obstacle that's limiting your quality of life most right now? Is it energy, joint pain, or putting in the effort and not seeing results you can measure? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'll respond personally to as many as I can this week, because the answer might already be in that bonus I'm about to share. And knowing what you're facing shapes everything I create next. Here it is. The one habit that research shows amplifies every single strategy we've covered. Deliberate heat exposure, specifically sauna. A landmark Finnish longitudinal study, tracking over 2,000 men for more than 20 years, found that men who used a sauna 4 to 7 times per week had a 63% lower risk of sudden cardiac death and a 40% reduction in all-cause mortality compared to men who used it only once per week. Those are not small numbers. Here's the mechanism. Intense heat stress triggers heat shock proteins, which refold and repair damaged proteins inside your cells, literally patching the cellular machinery that aging progressively breaks. Repeated sessions increase plasma volume, reduce arterial stiffness, and improve heart rate variability. And critically for everything we covered today, sauna sessions trigger an acute growth hormone spike, in some protocols, 5 to 10-fold above baseline, which directly enhances the muscle protein synthesis signal from your resistance training. The precise protocol, 15 to 20 minutes at 175 to 185 degrees Fahrenheit, 3 to 4 sessions per week. Post-workout is optimal timing. Hydrate with 16 to 24 ounces of water before and after. No access to a traditional sauna. Infrared saunas at lower temperatures for longer sessions produce comparable heat shock protein responses. This is not a luxury habit. For men over 60, it's one of the most evidence-dense, low-barrier longevity tools in existence. Here's the truth, and I mean this without any drama. Most men over 60 are playing defense with their health, reacting, managing decline, waiting to see what breaks next. That is the 95%. You watched this entire thing. You're already thinking about which protocol to implement first, not whether this applies to you. That distinction matters, more than most people realize. The Ohio longitudinal study I cited at the start found that people with a positive, active self-perception of aging outlived their counterparts by an average of 7.5 years, not because of a drug, not because of genetics, because of the decision, the identity, that aging on their terms was non-negotiable. That decision changes your behavior, Changed behavior changes your biology. Changed biology changes your years. You're not winding down. You're in an optimization phase most men never even find. Here's your one action step. Pick one of these 5 strategies. Not all 5. 1. Implement it with full commitment for the next 30 days. Master it, then add the next. The full written protocol. Exact sets, reps, heart rate zones, protein timing chart, and sauna schedule is in the description as a free download. No catch, it's just the work, organized for you. Build the body, protect the machine. Earn every year. I'm Marcus Reed. I'll see you in the next one. Your strength is not behind you. It's waiting for the right signal.